Hey everyone, welcome to Daydio on Display, Daydio.com's own YouTube channel regarding product previews, reviews, and demonstrations. Today we are going to be closing out our look at the Otterbox cases for the Blackberry Bold 9900 as well as the 9930, and we are going to finish with the Defender case. You are more than welcome to check out the Impact, the Commuter, and of course this case you see in front of us right here on Otterbox's official website at any time. That is going to be located at www.otterbox.com. Now, to get things rolling, there is a lot to talk about, so I want to make the introduction as thorough as possible. That way people who are short in time or just simply impatient, they can be on their way. This particular Defender case is actually a throwback to the older designs that Otterbox released a long time ago for the Blackberry phones. So that's kind of a cool thing, but at the same time it's also kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of deal, because the innovations from the newer Defender cases are somewhat missing. So kind of take it for what it is, alright? But it is at least refreshing to see a newer design, quote unquote. Now, for starters, you will notice that the screen protector is actually not built into the case. You have to apply it yourself, and that's why they gave us, or gives you, when you actually purchase the case, a self-adhesive screen protector, the same one you would find on the Impact series as well as the Commuter, so keep that in mind. Also, there is no keyboard guard whatsoever, regardless of whatever case you happen to buy from Otterbox, and they do not make one separately that you can install yourself later on, alright? So if you want to use a keyboard guard, you're going to have to find a third-party manufacturer that makes one and then apply it yourself. Otterbox does not make one, don't ask them. If you do, it's just a big waste of time because they're going to tell you no. The second major change in this Defender case is this right here. This is the belt clip holster. This is a more old school version. The positives of this older design is that it's actually lighter. It's nowhere near as big and bulky as the newer type of belt clip holsters that you find for the Defender cases. Benefit number 2 is that true to Blackberry fashion, it actually has a magnet built into it that you see right there. And of course, I don't need to explain that. If you're a Blackberry owner, you know the benefits of having a magnet inside of a holster. So there you are. So that's very cool. The somewhat downside to this design, however, is that it's not as robust, meaning that you actually, unfortunately, cannot use this interchangeably, facing forward or facing back. This is a face-in holster only. All right, and that's it. End of story. You can try putting it face out, but it's not going to fit inside the holster. And the belt clip on the back on the newer Defender cases, you can actually lock it into place like you see on this one, and then use it as a kickstand. But since this is a face-in design only, well, there you go, right? You're going to use a face-in phone with a kickstand. Doesn't really kind of make sense, so that's kind of renders that useless. So 2 positives, 2 negatives. They all balance out. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So for some people, it's going to be cool. For other folks, not so much. So I hope you took a nice long look at the retail package, because we're going to move that out of the way and then now talk about all the individual layers that make up the Defender. Starting with this is technically layer 1. This is the screen protector. It's self-adhesive, alright, and always comes in these little kits that Otterbox provides. Has an applicator card, a small little illustrated guide to show you how to properly install the screen protector, a microfiber cleaning cloth, and the actual screen protector itself for your Blackberry Bold 9900/9930 series of phone. Remember, you have to apply it yourself, and there is no keyboard guard in this kit. That is not even made from Otterbox. Moving on to layer number 2, this is the polycarbonate layer, or polycarbonate shell, I should say. It's a very simplistic design. It's made of 2 pieces, and it snaps on to your phone. And you want to install this first before you actually install the silicone layer, which is the 3rd layer that you see right here. Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this on our dummy version of the 9900 right now, because I want to be consistent, and then install the layers as they go up on by. Of course, I'm not going to put on the screen protector for time's sake. So once I have the polycarbonate layer on, I'm not really going to give you a 360 tour of it because I don't need to. You're supposed to put the skin on next, which is layer number 3. Now this is really the bulk of the case. This is what makes the Defender the Defender. Yes, that is there to reinforce the skin, but like I just said, it's really here to reinforce this. This is the thickest part of the case. It has nice large corners on it. It's very thick on the back as well as the sides, and this is really what will be absorbing most of the impact should you happen to drop your phone. Now, installation of the skin on the polycarbonate shell is a little bit tricky if you're not used to Otterbox cases, but this is an older design. I have to keep stressing that, and what that all means is that if you've had Otterbox cases from a long time ago, especially if you're a Blackberry fanboy and you've had older Blackberry phones and had Otterbox cases made for it back then all of this will be second nature for you. But for you newer folks out there, you younger bloods, so to speak, you might want to consult the instruction manual or the illustrated guide that Otterbox includes, because it can be a little bit difficult to install on the first time, because things are going to seem a little bit out of place, because the skin right here actually goes into these little grooves right here all around the case, not these little pockets, but literally around the entire phone. And if you don't line everything up correctly, it just seems off, and then you might be complaining, well, this doesn't look like it fits for the phone, even though it does. So I just installed the skin over the polycarbonate shell, and thus we have the completed Defender case minus the screen protector. And now I'm going to go and give you a 360 tour of this, of course, very briefly, because I do want to talk about the belt clip holster. As you can see, the Defender case is nice and thick. Okay, it's very well protective. What I like about this series of cases from Otterbox for the Blackberry Bold 9900 series is that the Defender is very different from the Commuter. All right, we've seen for other phones, the Commuter and the Defender are identical, except the Defender comes with the belt clip holster that you see right here. For this Blackberry phone, these are vastly different. The Commuter being much thinner and much lighter. This one much thicker, much heavier. Now there's a very thick lip that is created over the front of the phone. It's going to protect your screen and your keyboard from any type of service that you happen to come in contact with. So of course, if you happen to drop your phone on its back or on its side, no problem at all. And even if you happen to drop your phone on its face or it lands on its face, it is going to be up and away from the surface that it comes in contact with. And as long as nothing is kind of in the center right here that's going to poke up toward your phone, you should be fine for all intents and purposes. The screen protector should go ahead and take care of any small debris. Moving on to the top of the case, you can see it covering for the power button right in the center right there. Protrudes out quite nicely, so it is easy to press. Moving on to the side, we have two dust covers, one for the USB port as well as one for the audio jack. And this one actually is not recessed at all, guys, so you can actually go ahead and use a straight connector as well as an angled connector, but the angled connector, the other side has to be facing this way. If you do it the other way, it's going to run into the flap, but you can still connect it. Moving on to this side, you have nice large coverings for the volume up and down rocker, as well as one for the all-purpose button or the camera button. I believe the programmable button, if Blackberry still does that. Moving on to the back, opening for the rear built-in speaker, as well as a camera lens and LED flash, and of course a nice textured finish just to give you some more grip. Of course, I think it's a little bit redundant considering that the skin itself is very sticky to the touch, and of course that's what you want because you want to have a nice grip on the phone. Now moving on to the belt clip holster and the final part of the Defender case. Remember that that is a magnet. I don't want to explain what magnets do for the Blackberry phone. Just consult your manual, but that is a full-fledged magnet, so there you go. And moving on to the actual belt clip itself, okay, this is a belt clip that rotates in 360 degrees, alright, so you can go ahead and position it into an angle that is comfortable for you. You can go ahead and lock it into place. This makes it a little bit easier to go and latch onto something that you need, then go ahead and close it. And in other Defender cases, this is also doubles as a kickstand, but because this is face-in only, this is unfortunately not needed, but it is there for whatever reason you want to go ahead and use your phone in a face-in kickstand fashion. Other than that, this is more of a snap-in design. You don't necessarily slide your phone in. You can actually just go ahead and position it in and then snap it in like such. Once again, very old school. When you need to remove your phone, just go ahead and pop it out. Alright, there is no claw on the top. There's nothing of that sort. Just take it out and then snap it back into place. And remember, face-in design only, okay? You cannot use it face out. We've tried coaxing it into a comfortable position using face out, but unfortunately these little side slits right here do not line up with the little protrusions on the holster, and of course that doesn't make it fit, so it is impossible. Unfortunately, we have to report. So there you have it, guys. This is the Otterbox Defender case for the Blackberry Bold 9900 as well as the 9930. This is the most protective case we've seen out for the phone right now. So if you value protection above all else, please check out this case. If you have use for the belt clip holster, of course, check out this case. If you need something a little bit lighter, something a little bit sleeker, check out the Otterbox Commuter case. That is vastly different from the Defender, especially for this phone. So feel free to check that out. We already have a video up on our channel for you to watch. And if all of this just seems absolutely unnecessary, check out the Otterbox Impact Skin, which is basically just a thicker, better version of the OEM skin sold from Blackberry for your phone. Okay, my personal opinion with the Defender case, its major highlights, other than it being very protective, is the fact that it has a magnet on the belt clip holster, because that serves an important purpose. So feel free to check this out on the website www.otterbox.com. Show us some love on our own website www.daydeal.com. Keep following us on our YouTube channel, Daydeal on Display, for more product previews, reviews, and demonstrations. Thanks as always for watching.